in the Morning, the show Phoenix Magazine readers voted #1 talk radio show in Arizona.
#1 during your morning commute.
#1 whenever news breaks during your day.
And #1 whenever and wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo. It is February 5th, 2021. This is the Monty Show live on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search The Monty Show on YouTube, or much easier, go to themontyshow.com. MONTY, themontyshow.com. Takes you right to our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. By the way, a monumental changing of the guard on this here program today. Today is our last broadcast on Periscope. Pretty crazy.
We've been on Periscope for, 5 years?
Yeah, man. More than that. Over 6 years now. This
goes all the way back to the Mesa days.
I mean, yeah, this is it. 2015 is when we started on Periscope.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a wild and wacky ride comes to an end today. We appreciate everybody who has watched this show on Periscope. Twitter is shutting Periscope down. That's why we are on YouTube Live. And really, the YouTube channel has kind of grown and exploded for those of you who don't follow us on YouTube. We cut up the show into highlights. I say we. We have a small little monkey named Chet who, after the show, cuts up all our video for us.
Chet.
Jake cuts up all the video.
Chet.
He cuts up all the video, and we put it into highlights, and you get the full show, and then you get all the day's highlights, thanks to Lopes fan Gabe, who said Joe Rogan is better than we are, so we said no, he's not. But anyway, the point is, we have all this great content on YouTube for you. Just search The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show. And without further ado, shall we make our friends some money?
Yes.
Let's talk about Super Bowl LV. Where are you? Talk to me about your level of excitement for Super Bowl LV. Are you stoked about it? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's one of the best Super Bowls that we've had in a little while. Matchup-wise, I think there's matchups all over the field. But I really think this game is going to come down to Tom Brady versus the Chiefs defense. Simple as that. If Tom Brady has his way, I think the Bucs win the game.
Wait. Are you saying that Tom Brady has to compete against the Chiefs defense in order for the Buccaneers to win? Is that that's how you figure that the Bucs are going to win the game if Tom Brady competes against the Chiefs defense?
What would I do without you?
I don't know. That's amazing analysis out of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything that intrigues you about this Chiefs defense? Because their secondary is really good. I mean, with Tyrann Mathieu back there, and obviously they have some injuries on that defense in Kansas City that is going to hamper them pretty significantly. But I don't care what anybody says. Tyrann Mathieu is a game changer. He is a guy that shows up in the biggest games. How confident are you that Tom Brady can compete against this Chiefs defense, Jake?
I'm confident. I'm very confident. I think that he's capable of putting up 30 points in this game, and I think that if he's able to do that, they're going to be in a good place. That Packer victory, I keep leaning on it, but it really spoke volumes about this offense. The idea that you had 30 seconds left in the half, you were leading the game comfortably, and you still were committed to scoring before going into halftime, I mean, just tells you where this team is at mentally. And I think they're ruthless. They are going to give you everything that they can give you. They're going to score at every chance they get, and they will not let up. And I think it would be great for the league to see the Bucs win this Super Bowl, not only for Tampa, not only for Tom Brady, but for the league. And I think the more the league changes, the more it stays the same in the sense that the same old names are competing at the end of the year no matter what team they play for. And I do think if you go back to when Tom Brady initially left the Patriots for the Bucs, the conversation was, hey, like, what happens if they don't make the playoffs and they flame out in his first year? Well, we're at the Super Bowl now, so we can't say that anymore. What are we going to say when Tom, as an underdog, a big-time underdog, goes out on Sunday and wins this thing? Because that's what I'm really having trouble with when it comes to picking the Chiefs, is the idea that we're going to pick against a guy who's got 6 rings, a guy who is playoff proven, a guy who's clutch. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to beat defenses. And that's why I'm saying the recipe to beat the Chiefs is to simply possess the football on offense. Simply keep Patrick Mahomes and the offense on the sideline. Because if they're on the sideline, they're not scoring touchdowns. And if you see that this Sunday, the Bucs will win this game.
Well, I think what's going to be interesting is the running game as well. Because I think to win this game, and my phone's already blowing up with "you're an idiot, Monty" for Super Bowl picks, I'm sure. But what's interesting to me is that if the Bucs are going to win this game, they're going to have to control the clock, because you have to keep Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. You have to keep them off the football field if you're going to win. And just looking at some of the metrics, I do believe this is the best quarterback matchup in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever seen a more prolific 1-2. The guy that's won the most Super Bowls going against a guy who won the last Super Bowl, who arguably, and I'm not even sure it's arguable at this point, Jake, but Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Mahomes and Brady through the first 3 years as starting quarterbacks have almost identical numbers. It's spooky how legit Patrick Mahomes has been. But when I look at the way that these running backs are playing right now, and Edwards-Helaire is an absolute difference maker. I love him as a playmaker. I love what he brings. But I look at Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Mm-hmm. Leonard Fournette has done nothing but step up. Ronald Jones, obviously, Rojo with the quad injury. We've seen that impact his ability in the long runs. So he's really turned into more of a short yardage, 5-6 yard running back.
Battering ram.
Yeah.
That's what his role is.
But that's who Leonard Fournette is as a football player, is a battering ram. Now, Fournette's turned into the guy that you can throw the football to. He fights it. He's not the prettiest wide receiver out of the running, or receiver out of the running back spot. But Leonard Fournette's been very, very, very effective during this playoff run, and they really needed that with Ronald Jones having this quad injury. I think that's been a big deal. And when I look at what the Chiefs bring to the table, I don't feel as good about the Chiefs' running game, even though Edwards-Helaire has been unreal. 4.4 yards per carry, 1,100 total yards is incredible. But I love the way that Leonard Fournette has stepped up, so I give the running back nod to the Bucs.
Yeah, and I think too, when we talk about play action and the effect that that's going to have on this game, both guys love to use play action. Kansas City is not scared to just run the football until they feel like it's time to try to go deep on you, and I think Tom Brady's made a living on play action. Tom Brady, again, talked about on the show briefly yesterday, the only reason Tom Brady's still standing back there playing in the NFL is because he's done a phenomenal job of not taking punishment over the course of his career. And how do you do that as a quarterback? You run the hell out of the football, and then when you're done running it, you fake the run and you pass the ball. Play action. And that keeps the defense on its toes. And so, yeah, I would agree with you that early in this game, they will try to bring the Kansas City linebackers closer to the line of scrimmage. And once that happens, then you're going to start to see the intermediate routes take over. And so my biggest thing here, there's a lot of ways you could look at this game, but just to simplify it for the average fan, if you see the Bucs with the ball a lot, if they have a 10, 12-minute time of possession advantage on the Chiefs, this game's going to be close. Now, conversely, going the other way, let's not kid ourselves and say that Kansas City is not going to come out firing on all cylinders. This game could easily be like a 40-30 kind of game, where the Chiefs get out to a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Bucs are playing catch up the whole game. We could see that too, but I hope that it's a lot closer than that.
And I think it will be, but I think, again, when you talk about explosiveness, I look at this wide receiver matchup, and I know I've been talking about this all week, but I think Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are really, really good. And yes, I put Kelce in in the wide receiver room. I mean, the way they use him, sure, he lines up at the tight end, but he is not your prototypical. He's not even Rob Gronkowski worth of tight ends.
No.
He is a wide receiver. He's got freakish athletic ability for the position. And Travis Kelce's a guy that's an absolute weapon. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, if the Chiefs are going to win, he's got to have a big day. The problem for Kelce in this game is there's speed all over the place in that Tampa defense. And his ability has been linebacker versus Travis Kelce typically goes to Travis Kelce. But when you look at Devin White or any of the other guys, Levante David, any of those other guys that are going to be attacking the quarterback or the tight end here, they're as fast, if not faster, than Travis Kelce.
Yeah, and they're not intimidated by him either. I think a lot of defenses in the league will get intimidated by big-time tight ends, like Travis Kelce or any of the other big names in the league. And this Bucs defense is not scared of anybody. And I think, I don't know, there's just something that is not going to allow me to just outright pick the Chiefs in this game, because I don't think that Tom Brady and this team got this far by just on like pure talent, and then all of a sudden they're going to run into the Chiefs and be outclassed. I just don't see that.
Right, sure.
Like I think this is a team in the Bucs that again, have a lot of veteran playoff experience. So they're not the moment for the most part is not going to be too big for these guys. It's just going to be a matter of how can they come out and get on the board on that first possession? Because that's really the thing here. Like with Tom Brady, if you notice, like a lot of their games after probably week 6 or 7, their first possession, they're going out and scoring a touchdown. And that pretty much sets the tempo for the game. So will that happen? If that does happen, I really like their chances, but you can't. The biggest thing you got to avoid here is getting down by double digits to the Chiefs. If that happens, this game's over. And I don't care if that's in the first quarter or otherwise. There's no way that you're gonna go down 10-0 or 21-10 and then be able to claw your way back into this thing, because that the Chiefs are just way too powerful to be in that position.
Well, yeah, and I absolutely agree with that, and I also think it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to do that, because I think you look at the offensive line of Kansas City. Fisher's a huge loss for them, and I look at the way Ndamukong Suh is playing, and I actually think he's playing really effective, smart football for once.
Yeah.
And so it allows other guys on that Bucs defense to do things. And when you let that Bucs defense play fun, fast football, frankly, I think you're in trouble. I look at Suh, Vita V has been, I think, a really unheralded player up front for the Bucs. I think Vita's played very good football. I mean, JPP is back, and I know everybody wants to joke about, he blew his hand off. Cool. That was, well, but seriously, how many years ago was that? And this guy is playing.
It's probably 10 years ago.
I mean, he's playing unbelievable football right now.
Yeah.
Getting after the quarterback, that makes a huge difference. I look on the other side of that defense, and you just see that guys like, Shaq Barrett, he's had a huge impact on the opposite end of JPP.
Mm-hmm.
He has allowed this defense to be much more aggressive.
Well, look at the Packer game. I mean, they got after Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I mean, literally, like, the entire game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was getting dominated at the end of the game, and really that line. I mean, it's not Aaron's fault, but the offensive line for the Packers got just tore up by this defensive line from the Bucs. And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you think about how that could affect, like, Patrick Mahomes loves to roll out, right? Like, one of the most dangerous positions for Patrick Mahomes to be in terms of defending him is when he rolls out to his right. Because when he rolls out to his right, you've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Travis Kelce, and you've got many other guys who are running across the field with him, and it's almost impossible as a defense to stop that. So my point here is that with the defensive line, if they can stay disciplined with their coverages and keep him in the pocket for the most part, they're going to be in a good place, and their athleticism should allow them to do that.
Well, and Antoine Winfield looks like he is practicing. He is, of course, he's limited with that injury, but he and Antonio Brown look like they are both going to play in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you can't tell me
Antonio Brown's missing the Super Bowl.
I mean, it has been a thing. I mean, Antonio Brown's had a pretty significant knee ding or issue or what, that we don't know exactly what that is. But, I mean, I think Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield are really important to that secondary.
Yeah.
The Bucs defense needs. Whitehead is a guy that not many people have talked about. But, I mean, he brings a certain physical style to that secondary, and we saw that, I guess, 2 weeks ago with the shoulder injury when he or 3 weeks ago now because of the bye week. He delivers that hit.
Yeah, and he lit that guy up, too.
Yeah, but, the downside of that is that he was injured.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they got into the Super Bowl without him, but he's a huge difference maker. If Winfield Jr.'s not healthy, that's a huge loss for that defense.
I mean, I would think that Whitehead will play. I would think that Whitehead be able to play. Winfield, I don't know. I mean, I could see him being kind of limited. Like he'll suit up and everything, and he'll get some snaps, but you can't tell me he's going to be 100% for the game.
No, I don't know, and I think it's a real big ask just trying to find. Like I was reading about this, this morning. Both of them looked really good in practice. I mean, just reading the recaps, they both look like they're going to go. And if that's the case, I mean, the chemistry in that Bucs secondary,
it's for real.
It is. I mean, they really feed off of each other. I am leaning Bucs in this game. Having delved into. The secondaries I still maintain go to Kansas City. It's just a matter of who's going to play and who's not.
Do you think they can turn Patrick Mahomes over? Do you think the Bucs defense can create extra possessions?
That's been very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Frankly, Patrick Mahomes doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah. He doesn't.
I mean, their turnovers. Mecole Hardman has been the guy that's been turning the ball over.
But here's where they're not. When I say, are they going to turn him over? He's not throwing an interception this game. I mean, unless it's garbage time and he throws one up or something. That's not happening. What I mean is if you look at, when the Bucs have created turnovers, they create turnovers when you're trying to run for extra yards. They're punching the football out. They're hitting you low. I mean, they're defensively, they've been coached to be cognizant of the fact that, hey, even if he's got the ball tucked, punch it, hit it, put a helmet on the football.
Well, but when you talk about Patrick Mahomes turning the ball over, I think you have to consider this offensive line in Kansas City. It's just decimated by injury. They have been a patchwork plug and play offensive line for a good part of this season, and now that Fisher's out with what did he do? He tore his Achilles.
Terrible.
They have one guy who started the season in week 1 on the offensive line. This defense is ready to go. They're thirsty. They're hungry in Tampa. I think this is where the game's going to be won and lost.
Right.
And when you talk about turning over Patrick Mahomes, my question is, he's got this turf toe. Mm-hmm. He has taken more hits in the last 3 games than I think he took the entire season. Now you're going up against a defense that's really fast.
Yep.
They're really physical. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a very, very difficult day.
So, real quick, did you hear about this whole thing that happened with the Chiefs in this barber shop? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, with their barber having exposure to COVID-19.
So the barber gets tested, right?
Man.
And he didn't know what his results were. He was just working, and the Chiefs were going to have about 25 guys go and get their hair cut.
No, bro. They were at the barber shop already. And they were in line at the barber shop. The barber is there and gets the result of his test as positive, and everybody had to bail out.
And Mahomes was there. Everybody was there.
I mean,
dodging bullets, dude.
Again, my only question is, how is that even possible? If you're the National Football League, how do you let that even get close to your
I don't know,
Super Bowl
dude.
teams?
I don't know. That's from an NFL perspective, from a league perspective.
I'm amazed.
The front office of the league, you're talking about the product on the field. You're talking about potentially. I mean, again, you can make an argument, but this is one of the best matchups we've ever seen, dude. Ever. And the idea that Jimmy the Barber almost ruined that because of COVID is just, I mean, that's crazy to me. But the fact is they were able to get out of there. They were able to escape the pandemic.
This is ridiculous. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It is. it lacks so much vision.
Well, and a lot of people were asking. A lot of people were asking yesterday on Twitter, like, why do they need to go and get haircuts? People need to understand that Super Bowl week is like a huge thing.
No, what people need to understand is culturally, locker rooms are really fragile. And when you have that many guys, when you have 53 dudes, and usually it's about 70 dudes in an NFL locker room, you have to do team building things. Mm-hmm. You have to form relationships. One of the things that they all do is they get their haircut.
Yeah.
And in the black community, the barber shop is a really important foundational piece of the black community.
Yeah.
And when you talk about unity and teamwork and team building, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. I have no problem with them getting haircuts.
No, I don't have an issue. People were just saying like why did they have to go and do that in the middle of a pandemic? Like people were questioning like the logic behind it. And it's like, well, it's really simple. The problem here is not the Chiefs. The problem here is the barber.
No, yeah.
The league should have made like 100% sure that this barber was clear, and they clearly didn't.
Which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to picking this game, because the fascinating thing is I think all of these position groups go to the Bucs. I'll give the Chiefs the secondary edge. I'll give them Travis Kelce at the tight end. Other than that, I look at linebackers. I'm taking the Bucs. D-line, I'm taking the Bucs. O-line, I'm taking the Bucs.
Running game?
Taking the Bucs. Wide receivers, taking the Bucs.
Total package wide receivers, yes, but Tyreek Hill, he will be a problem.
He's fast. There's no doubt about it.
Problem.
How many touchdowns does he have in the postseason?
I don't know.
0. Because they're zoning him. They're not going to allow him to get behind them.
Bro, he may have 0 touchdowns, but he went off for like 200 yards.
He has. I think he has 289 yards and no touchdowns in the postseason.
It's a lot of yards.
It is. He's an effective weapon.
Yeah.
But teams have figured out how to keep him out of that 75-yard
big play. Yeah.
So, I don't know. The Chiefs are favored by 3 points in this game. The number has moved all over the frickin' place. It's at 56 right now.
Yeah.
Which is a huge number. Mm-hmm. Right? I think, in my mind, the Bucs are winning this Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that this is 37-34.
Mm-hmm.
37-31. I think the Bucs are going to win a shootout. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining Super Bowls we've ever seen. And I think Tom Brady gets number 7.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Bucs, but I think it's closer than that. I do agree it's in the 30s, so my pick's going to be 34-31. Late game drive, field goal situation to win the game. And I think that it's going to go back and forth. I think this is going to be, I agree, I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining Super Bowls we've seen. I think in the past, there have been some Super Bowls that have been absolute duds. This is not going to be that. I would be really surprised if they were not both in the 30s.
I feel comfortable at 37-34, and I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I think Tom Brady is going to ride a defense that will allow him to stay on the field longer.
Yeah.
And I think, frankly, Antonio Brown...
Is this... Well, I guess this is a different conversation, but is this a redemption moment for Antonio Brown on some level? Like going to the Super Bowl, not being a problem this year, because he hasn't been a problem this year. I mean, he's dealt with injuries, but everybody deals with injuries. He hasn't been the classic Antonio Brown that we've all come to understand him to be. So if he has the 70-play down the field big yard, 70-yard play, is that redemption for him? I don't know, but I think he's got a hell of a lot to play for.
Well, but you got to remember that he's Tom Brady's guy. Like the only reason that Antonio Brown's a Buck is because Tom Brady said he wanted him there.
Right.
And he stuck up for Antonio Brown. And AB's been hurt, and that's been an issue. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't, frankly, been the same wide receiver he had historically been throughout his career.
Right.
Because he's been on the sideline a lot. That's what happens when you throw furniture over apartment high-rise railings. He's just had so many off-field issues that trace all the way back to that locker room Facebook Live thing he did with the Steelers. He's just not been able to find a home. And so I think this is a really critical performance for him. This is if Antonio Brown plays a key role in the Bucs winning the Super Bowl, It's legacy saving for him.
Yeah.
He will always now be known as a wingnut off the field.
Right.
But damn, he balled out.
Yeah.
If he balls out in the Super Bowl. I think Tom Brady, I trust guys like Rob Gronkowski. I mean, they've been there together.
What about Mike Evans? What do you think, Mike Evans?
Well, I would think that the 2 weeks off has really helped him.
I would hope
He
so.
has been battling physically for months. So I would think these 2 weeks off help him.
Yeah.
He's a big game player. He's a guy that I would throw the football to in every situation.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin's got to catch the football. I mean,
I don't know what happened to him, dude. I mean,
but he's been awesome in the postseason, with the exception of 3-4 balls he should have caught that he didn't.
The Packer game, one hits him in the face, and then he makes that incredible 40-yard catch down the field. So my pick is 34-31. Bucks are winning this game. I do think it's a late game situation. I do think it's a field goal to win the game, but I do think it's a shootout. Totally.
Barry says it's ridiculous. Come on, you can do it. Barry says it's ridiculous. You guys are leaving Periscope. Stupid. Okay,
dude, Barry. This is not rocket science, my friend. We don't have a choice. What do you want us to do?
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, it's not like we're saying, hey, hey, here's the bird, Barry. We're leaving it just because we don't want to be there anymore. They're literally turning it off.
Barry's on Periscope. Dude. We're leaving Periscope.
They're literally turning Periscope off. Take it up. Go to Twitter court and beef with them. It's not on us, man.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel,
The
Monty
by the
Show.
way.
Monty, The Monty Show. He says, as usual, you two idiots don't know anything about football. Yes, the Bucks will win, but it'll be 6-3 in a field goal shootout. Okay. LOL. Okay, good. I was going to say, if that's going to be a serious comment, come on now. Will, who says, I listen every day now. Thanks for that. I agree. Tom Brady's too much to overcome. Patrick Mahomes is good. Tom Brady's great, as you always say. Well, there's a difference between good and great, and it's not much, but it's significant. So agree with that. Good to hear from you. Brent says, have a hard time picking against the Chiefs, even if this is a home game for the Bucks with no cannons. And I am making fried chicken in the deep fryer.
Oh, thank you for bringing it up.
In the deep fryer we bought for the turkey at Thanksgiving. Man, fried chicken. I haven't had fried chicken in...
long time.
Oh, man. Bro.
They're fried chicken...
And when I say fried chicken, I mean like a bucket from the, from KFC, like the Colonel.
Bro, good fried chicken with well done mashed potatoes and a good gravy is phenomenal.
Stop it.
Phenomenal.
See, and I've had a food revolution since I got to Utah, which means I've waged war against food and eaten every bit possible, which is not true, actually. I've actually eaten pretty well. But like my food appetite has changed. Like I had a donut for the first time yesterday in...
long time.
Maybe a year. I won't have another one.
When is the last time I had a donut?
I can't think of the last time we had
Probably
donuts.
in Phoenix. Oh, the day we moved. The day we packed your guys' stuff up in Phoenix because I brought over Hertz Donuts. That was the last time.
Okay.
That was the last time, yeah.
It just like all that raw, pure sugar made me feel terrible yesterday.
Right.
Like it just fricked me up. By the way, real quick on cursing. So at Yelp we have teams. Jake and I are on different teams.
Right.
But within each team there is a little group like G-chat that happens.
Yeah.
Somebody cursed. I said LFG in the group ping.
Right.
Which of course means let's freaking go.
Right. You would never curse. I mean, come on.
Right?
Right.
I mean, at work, I try to never curse, even though it happens.
I try to stay calm and not curse.
It happens.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So we have a particular team member who is like, what does LFG mean? Another one of my teammates says, it means let's fucking go. And my manager's like, no, it means frickin'. Let's frickin' go.
Are we clear on that?
And this the teammate who had asked what it means goes, do we really have to use the F word? Do we really have to? So I don't know what's been in the water lately.
Oh, man.
I really don't know what's been in the water. But cursing is just absolutely savaging people.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
No, fuck off. It doesn't make me feel uncomfortable or responsible. I'm kidding. I curse all the time. I do.
You?
It's part of my vernacular. It's part of my speech pattern stuff.
So I said, yeah.
It is what it is.
Right.
I've never seen somebody be upset about just a letter that represents a curse word.
Terribly vexed.
And this person was. And now the fun police have come out. And we're not allowed to use LFG anymore.
Come on.
But you have to respect people's beliefs, especially in the workplace.
You're definitely going to use LFG. The difference is now you're going to do capital L, you're going to do parentheses, freaking in small letters, close parentheses, capital G.
Okay. By the way, a lot of people in on the Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
Jake Kleiner on Twitter says KC 37, Tampa 31. This will end up being one of the best Super Bowl matchups we've ever seen.
See, I think everyone agrees that this is going to be in the 30s.
Yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that.
I think Kansas City is going to have more trouble scoring than Tampa will. That's why he and I are on the same score line here, 37-31. I think Tampa's the one that scores 37. Patrick, I don't know how to say it, McLenany Boo-Boos, said 45-37 Kansas City. There's no way you're dropping 45 on this team.
Who the f*** is that guy?
Look, Boo-Boo. There's no way you're putting up 45 on the Tampa defense, with all due respect. I don't see that.
If that happens,
nobody's in the 40s here. I would rather pick a. Do you think somebody's going to score 40, or will both teams finish in the 20s? Okay, I could see both teams finishing in the 20s.
But here's the thing. Logically speaking, to get to the 40s, you have to possess the ball a ton of time, and that's just not going to happen against a Tom Brady-led team.
Will says, Jake, play the who the F is that guy.
Who the f*** is that guy?
Who the F is that guy? Oh, sorry, who the frick is that guy? Exactly.
Oh, he don't know nothing.
Exactly, thank you. See, it's going to become a thing now.
Yep.
And which is fine. It's totally fine. I'm going 37-34 Tampa.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change. Anyway, now that we're done talking about cursing.
Yeah.
Let's talk Super Bowl food. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. The Monty Show. Monty, The Monty Show. You can always find it at themontyshow.com. Today is our last day on Periscope, by the way, if you're watching on Periscope. Jake, I have waited long enough. Fat man wants to eat.
Right. And I'm fat.
You're portly.
Okay.
Right? And you sweat a lot. Anyway, the point is, is, what is your sweaty, portly self going to eat on Super Bowl Sunday? Because I'm pretty resolute on.
You're a wing guy, though. You want wings.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, like, you're a wing guy. You love eating, like, chicken wings. And I like chicken wings, just not as much as you like them.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No.
Yes.
You don't have hair on your chest? So, well, you are kind of an ape. Okay, Jake is, like, he is like, shag carpet guy. But anyway.
Where's the Italian?
Yeah, where's the Italian? The point is, I love wings. Right. I don't like wings. I love
barbecue or lemon pepper.
Your mom. I love wings.
Wow.
But see, here's the difference. Like, you're that guy. You're like, oh, look at all those sheep going up and eating the barbecue wings. Let me eat barbecue wings. No. I am the guy who says, A, it's lemon pepper over barbecue if you got a gun in my head. But B, just give me a big old vat of mayonnaise and... No, I'm kidding.
No,
that's a joke.
No.
It was a joke. Give me a big old vat of ranch dressing. Good ranch dressing, like Ken's ranch dressing.
Is Wingstop's ranch dressing good?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. Just pour it right into my arteries, though. Anyway, the point is, ranch dressing with drumettes.
Yeah. This is definitely a conversation.
This is the other problem with you. Okay? And this is why I think, and I haven't asked your mom, but I just assume that she probably, the mailman came in one day and there you were.
You are what you are.
Because you like flats.
No, I don't.
Nobody likes flats.
Where did we get to a point where I like flats?
Because all you do is eat the flat wing. You don't eat the drumette.
You gave me a bowl of like 15 the other day and I knocked it down.
Because you like it.
Right, but none of them were flats.
What do we know about Jake? He likes animal porn and flat wings. We get it.
Well said.
So I'm just trying to give you what you like. You like flats. I don't like flats at all.
Dude.
How many times have we gone to a wing place and been like drums only? And
every time.
And you're like, damn it, can I get some flats? And I'm like, no, you can't.
Dude, I'm not a flats guy. I don't understand where this is coming from right now.
So anyway, point is we eat wings differently. Do you like chicken tenders or drumettes?
Man, that's tough. Good chicken tenders is hard to beat.
Exactly why I tell you he likes flats. No, drumettes are where it's at. When I think wings, I think drumettes.
Crispy, well-breaded chicken tenders are hard to beat with a big-ass bowl of ranch.
I don't know who you are, dude. I don't know what's happening to you. Oh, Mr. Live Alone, broke up with her over text. Now
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm fried.
Now I'm a rock star who strengthens my forearms at night in a king-size bed, so I think I'm the man. Like, I totally get it. I don't understand who would take a chicken tender over a drumette.
Do you even live?
Do you? Like, I don't think you
not,
do.
Dude. I guess not. I don't
like,
know.
that's a Bowflex over there. Maybe try it once in a while.
Right.
The point is, I'm a drumette guy all the way.
Okay.
I am fine. If you hand me a bowl of barbecue drumettes, okay, cool, let's do this.
Right, yeah.
But, man, if you said to me, hey, what do you want? Give me some celery sticks and carrots, plain wings, and just a butthole full of ranch.
Okay, wow.
That's the best I could do.
Just take it nice and easy, okay? Just relax.
Slow down. Slow down.
No, but seriously,
But
best
just
Super
a
Bowl
ton
food,
of
though.
ranch.
Best Super Bowl food, though.
Wings has to be there.
So, wings definitely is there.
I think I've really gotten into Insta-Pot cooking because, frankly, my wife cooks in the Insta-Pot
What's
a lot.
the best thing you've had lately out of the Instant-Pot?
Oh, no
use
question.
it all the time.
Mexican soup.
Right.
I don't know what, it wasn't tortilla soup. She made me this bean, corn, ground turkey, almost burned the house down making the turkey soup. And yeah, absolutely. The pregame yesterday was unbelievable.
Okay.
But the point is, the point is, soup in the Instapot is unreal.
Right.
But you know what I like doing? Just let's go to Costco. Let's get a pack of chicken breast. Let's please wash your chicken breast before you cook it. 6 psycho fants. I like taking that chicken breast,
Right.
putting it in the Instapot, seasoning it well, and
So, like salt, pepper, garlic, or something like that? Or
salt, pepper, Italian spices.
what? Okay.
And then one of two things. Give me a bottle of Ken's Romano Italian dressing, and you just dump all that in there.
No.
Have you ever tried it?
Stop.
You haven't.
Stop.
Give me Ken's Italian dressing.
You're being serious.
Oh, it's amazing. It will change
You're
the way
filling
you
up
eat
an
chicken.
Instapot with Italian dressing.
And chicken breast.
Bro.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Or, conversely, a lot of pepper, a lot of paprika, a little bit of chili powder, bunch of barbecue sauce, bunch of chicken breast. Cook that thing up, and you've got like pulled chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Sliders. Amazing. My wife has also gone ham on the baked sweet potato thing.
Dude.
She makes these loaded sweet potatoes that are
Loaded sweet potatoes are phenomenal.
They're so good for you. It literally is just a sweet potato cooked in the Instapot, cut in half. You pull out some of the
broth.
No, the guts of the sweet potato.
Oh, you
Like
pit
make
it.
a little,
You pit it.
make a little bit of a crater. Pour a bunch of black beans in there, cooked black beans, pico de gallo. You put
guacacholi.
a little guac on top of that, and it's, for days. She's also, Mrs. Monty's been making like these bean combinations, like white beans, pinto beans, black beans. Trust me, man, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm telling you, the music of food. The more you eat, the more you toot. Like, it's awesome. And my point is that I could see all of that, but if we're talking go-to food for the Super Bowl, I want wings. I think a bunch of chicken in the Instapot. And
what about nachos?
I was going to say but tater tot nachos or traditional chip nachos.
We've been trying to do so the technical term is tachos for all you folks out there. It's tachos.
Excuse me.
Yeah, thank you. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could see you doing tachos, but like, but how do you do it? So with tachos, you got to cook the tater tots first and crisp them up and like make sure they're good.
Yes.
But then you got to top them. And so like, there's this place in Old Town Scottsdale that does this, and they do like chili and sour cream and like all this shit on top.
Oh my, cold beers and cheeseburgers.
Yeah, they do all this stuff on top. But like, I'm not a huge chili on food guy. I love a good bowl, like a bread bowl of chili in the winter is like hard to beat.
But you know what I had? Maybe I think when I lived in St. Louis, where there was a Super Bowl party, it was Bears and Colts.
Yeah.
And somebody made tachos, but with French fries, crinkle cut French fries, with clam chowder poured atop the French fries.
Oh my god, dude! Don't.
And I don't remember what else was on there, but it was like
that's
amazing.
What
it was amazing.
That's what like Slapfish does with theirs.
Oh, dude.
I'd be down to do that. I mean, I don't know where we're getting clam chowder from, but okay.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really good. So yeah, I think tacho friachos.
Okay, so wings are definitely there. They're a staple in every house.
Yes.
But then it's like the other two. So
sliders of any kind, I think, are always a home run.
Yeah.
If you do,
but the roll's got to be good.
Oh, it's King's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. So if you do some sliders, but here's the other thing, and this is what I talked about yesterday, and I'm not trying to be a whiny little jerk here, but I'm just over this pandemic. Like, I am so frustrated. And I know that there was polling that came out, maybe it was last week or something, that talked about how Americans now are agreeing that the pandemic burnout is as high as it's ever been.
Yeah, it's getting real.
And the funny thing is, it's like when you're changing jobs and you put your 2-week notice in.
Right.
The job that you put the notice in, your old job, sucks now.
Yeah.
And it feels like 2 weeks is 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. So with this pandemic, the vaccine is here. Biden is likely going to send a mask to everybody's house. Like all this stuff, it's coming to an end. Like, not coming to an end. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel where you can actually you can go play basketball. You can do these things because once you get the vaccine, and by the way, not for nothing, we got Honeywell N95 masks yesterday. It's a game changer. It's unbelievable. It is so different than just a regular mask. You understand why people who wear N95s don't get this thing. But here nor there. The funny thing is, though, you can see the end of the road, the light at the end of the pandemic tunnel, and it's just miserable now. It just feels like I've been in the house for a decade.
Yeah, because now we still got 6 months at least.
Yeah, well, I think I think it's a little shorter than that.
Because there's no way I'm getting a vaccine anytime soon. I mean, there's no way it's going to be offered
I think by June 1st, you'll have a vaccine.
Well,
I think 3-4 months.
I would love for that to be the case. Honestly, I would. I'd love to see that.
But look at what's happening. I think you're getting drop shipments of vaccines to every major pharmacy. You have huge vaccination sites. Like, I mean, you're starting to see that more and more people are getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
And it's not that that getting a vaccine will prevent you from getting coronavirus, because it won't. And I hope people understand that. It's not that it's going to protect you. It's just going to make it so that it's not going to kill you.
So let me get this right, because we briefly talked about this on the show yesterday, and I'm just trying to understand where you're at with it. So obviously you're getting a vaccine. That's not in question. But
no doubt.
But like mentally, mindset-wise on the pandemic and what you're willing to do, once you get the vaccine, are you then willing to go and play basketball? Or like where do you fall once you have it? Or like once you get the vaccine?
Once the majority of our population has been vaccinated, then I'll go and play basketball. Until that time.
So how long do you think that will be? Like a year?
I think probably fall.
Yeah.
I think probably fall. I think hopefully if what the Biden administration is trying to do, succeeds, this stimulus package that they're trying to put through, that got through process last night at 5 a.m.
Last night at 5 a.m.
Well, they did this super thing, whatever. But my point is, once we get through that, I think once the stimulus passes and there's more money to facilitate vaccinations,
right?
There's more money to facilitate everybody getting a mask. When Joe Biden hopefully, makes it so that And the plan is to use the National Defense Act. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
But that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, to enact government power to make 3M produce N95 masks that get sent to every American home.
Yeah.
These are all game-changing things.
Right.
If every American wore an N95 mask, and even if you send them to them, it doesn't mean they're going to wear them. But if everybody who wants an N95 mask has one, you're going to dramatically turn the spread of this coronavirus down.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm telling you, they're game changers. And then if you have, 70% of the population vaccinated, that's a game changer.
Right.
It's an absolute game changer. So until that happens, if I were to get vaccinated, I would be more willing to do things like, hey, I'll go to the mall more frequently.
Uh-huh.
To go to, like, we went to Crate and Barrel a month or so ago, and it was terrifying.
Right.
Even though I had a mask on and I was staying away from people, it was still terrifying. I'll feel a little better about doing that. But things I still won't do, I won't go sit in a restaurant. Like Mrs. Monty and I were talking about, hey, you want to go up to Park City for, Valentine's Day weekend? We'll get a room up there for a couple of nights. We'll have a nice dinner. And I was like, should we be doing that? Like, it's the pandemic. And she's like, yeah, you're probably right. We just had a massive month at Yelp. Mm-hmm. I had a major milestone at Yelp, passing $1 million in total rev. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's go to Mastro's, have a steak dinner.
There's not even, what is a steakhouse here?
I don't know, but I would have driven to Vegas for one night.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely, true. I'd have driven to Vegas to go to Mastro's at City Center.
Yeah, Treehouse. Yeah.
No, not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just on burnout.
It is frustrating. It's frustrating to always have to stay inside. It's frustrating to not be able to
have a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, not to have a Super Bowl party. It's frustrating to, I don't know. I would still go snowboarding. I
would go snowboarding.
I would do that. But I don't know, man. It is. I try not to think about it. I make the conscious effort not to obsess on the fact that we've literally been essentially living a different life for the past 18 months.
And we're way off the track now. But this is why we bought a Bowflex. This is why we have a Peloton.
Yeah.
Because we need to take that more seriously. We need to take this time because there's no question I've gained weight during the pandemic.
Yeah.
We need to change that.
Right.
Because I want to come out of this pandemic in great shape. Mm-hmm. And I love working out on my Bowflex. I love it. Mm-hmm. I think it's fantastic. So I'm really thrilled to have that. You need to make use of this time. That's my point.
Yeah.
Anyway, my frustration is you can't have a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
But as far as food goes, I love the idea of shredded chicken sliders. I love the idea of nacho tacho frachos.
Yeah.
Is frachos a thing?
I'm with you on the tacho fry nacho train.
Yeah,
I think
too.
we might have to do that. That sounds really good.
I think so. And Mrs. Monty is a soup making machine.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of potential there. I like the idea of making tater skins.
Yeah. Oh man. It's hard to beat. And it's awful for you. So I'm not trying to go from the health angle here, but a potato skin with some sour cream, and just some bacon bits on it with a little bit of.
I don't eat bacon.
Well, I know you don't eat bacon, but regular American people eat bacon. So Oh,
now I'm a communist. Okay. DJ Main says Bucks 42-36.
Bro, 40s is high, dude.
Yeah, but everybody's on the 40 train,
dude.
Marcus says Kansas City 27, Bucks 24. Defense is underrated in both spots. Okay, I could see that. Always good when Mrs. Monty rolls down in the red cements. Mm-hmm. I could see that. Fat Jesus says potato skins are king.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
You notice how you said potato? Potato skins? Did you hear yourself?
I didn't.
You said potato skins.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. It's not potato skins. When it comes to skins, it's potato skins.
It's potato skins.
It's not potato skins. I'm with you on it.
Shut
That's what
up.
I'm saying.
Don't mock me. Don't mock me. It's fun. Like I say Missouri, I don't say Missouri. Mm-hmm. There's some words that I just say like that. I don't know. Anyway, best Super Bowl food for me, I think, and Mrs. Monty hasn't weighed in on this conversation at all, but I think it's shredded chicken sliders on King's Hawaiian.
Oh.
I think it's frachos.
Dude, crinkle cuts?
Crinkle cuts with either chowder or but again, I would take French fries with Mrs. Monty's bean mixture.
Whatever it is.
Kind of thing over the top of French fries with some cheese and some guac.
Dude, amazing.
That would be awesome. Or, loaded sweet potatoes. Oh,
Yeah.
and of course wings in the Insta-Pot.
I think
I want
wings are probably
Insta-Pot. I
goat.
want an Insta-Pot wings.
Yeah, wings are probably goat.
Would that be good to Insta-Pot wings? Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, you have an air frying toaster.
I have a
oven.
bitchin' air fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a. Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh God, here
I
we go.
I just spent
First world
$5,000
problems.
on an air fryer oven. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Mrs. Monty. Buying a house is so expensive. Mm-hmm. But we got new appliances. We spent about $10,000 on appliances.
It's a lot.
But they're
nice.
all Samsung.
Right.
They're awesome. I love that my dishwasher opens itself when it's done so that it vents and dries.
So living alone and like having a place now,
Uh-huh.
I have a major appreciation for a quiet dishwasher.
How
because
alone you
my
really
dishwasher is on blast.
Oh, is it really?
It's so loud, dude. Like it is loud to the
That's
point
awesome.
to the point where I don't want to run it when I'm there. So like I'll intentionally like wash plates or like wash the things I need to use on the day to day, and then I'll like run the dishwasher when I leave in the morning to come do the show, so that it does it while I'm not there.
Trevor on Twitter says you're such an elitist. I'm not. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm not.
Was this in reference to the appliances, or what was this in reference to?
Yes. Who spends $10,000 on appliances? Guy, how do you not spend $10,000 if you like? I bought a house that needed new appliances.
What is the point? Let me put it this way. What's the point of working your ass off in an outbound sales position and doing extremely well to not have nice things?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Listen, I do pretty well at Yelp. Like on President's Club, like
Right, but what I'm saying
I do
is,
really well at Yelp. Yeah.
Like, but to the listener of the show who doesn't know what President's Club is or any of that stuff, the point is you're one of the top reps at Yelp, and you make a lot of money. Why would you not? Like, does it make you an elitist to have a Bowflex, or like I don't understand how that it makes you an elitist to have nice appliances.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure. I don't know that I'd spend $10,000, but like you had the money, and that's something you value.
Wait. Here's why I spent $10,000. Because Home Depot makes it so they make it easy. Their business model is incredible. Like why wouldn't I? Like, it makes. I'm going to live in this house probably for 5 years, right? And then we cook every night, pretty much.
Yeah, you do. You use those like every night.
Yeah, the refrigerator's amazing. I wish the middle drawer was a little bigger, but it is what it is. My wife is a wine drinker, so I've got wine bottles.
I remember when I had my first beer.
Yeah, like I have wine bottles coming out of my ass right now because like it's all she does is sit around and drink wine. She doesn't have a job. We're out of bonbons, and frankly, we can't get
But she's got red
anymore.
cements on. It's fine.
She does. Well, because I do well at Yelp.
Right.
I'm kidding. My wife does not drink a lot of wine, and she makes incredible money as well. We're rich, and you're not, so deal with it. Anyway,
chill out,
I was
bro.
joking. I was kidding. The point is that, I think if you work hard and you do well, you should
have nice things.
have nice things.
Yeah.
Open your own business, which is what else I'm trying to do.
We're
like
close.
I've pretty much stopped buying shoes.
Yeah.
Although I just bought a pair of shoes and Nike's having an unbelievable last chance event today. But we were talking about this yesterday. Like, I bought myself an ergonomically correct mouse. My wife pretty much forced me to do that. And it was $80. And I was like, dude.
Is it wireless?
I don't know if it's wireless. Yes, it has a dongle. It's wireless.
Okay.
It has a dongle. But it's one of those mice that you use on your desk, and like you just use the whole thing with your thumb and your finger.
Right.
And you don't need a mouse pad for it. It just sits on your desk. And so I was like, I don't want to spend that money. There's new Jordans coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? But we're trying not to spend money. We really don't spend money. This is my point. We were talking about it during the week. The other day we were talking about that during the week we don't spend money at all. Like, we really don't. We do one round of grocery shopping. It's usually Saturday or Sunday, and it's been Sunday more at Costco. We go to the huge Costco in downtown Salt Lake.
Which I had no idea that was a thing.
Right off of 21st South.
I had no idea that certain Costco's were like bigger.
It's made for small business.
Yeah.
So it's made for restaurants and convenience stores. And anyway, point is, so we don't really spend money or go out during the week.
Right.
Like I work, I go upstairs and watch Chicago PD, I go to bed, I wake up.
The week does kind of turn into just like
Monday turns into Friday. Like
it
flies by.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's fast.
Can we talk about Donovan Mitchell versus Devin Booker? Because now we're way over. We're probably not going to get to that wacko Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We're not. She can wait till next week.
Good old Marge. Anyway, Donovan Mitchell is leading Devin Booker by 63,000 All-Star votes.
Mm-hmm.
How is that even possible? It's because the Jazz fans are incredible, number one.
Yeah.
And Suns fans are checked out. They're checked, bro. Suns fans aren't engaged the way Jazz fans are.
Right.
CP3 has pretty much almost caught Devin Booker, which tells you that the popular vote around the NBA.
Yeah.
And this is my point on Devin Booker trailing Donovan Mitchell by 63,000 votes. Don deserves it. There's no doubt about that. Right? My point is, Devin Booker would not be trailing Donovan Mitchell by 63,000 votes if he was a Laker.
Well, yeah, of course not.
He's an irrelevant Phoenix Sun. And if this doesn't tell him that, and if not winning championships, and if languishing at the bottom of the Western Conference doesn't tell you that.
Yeah. Got to get to a better organization.
Just another indication that he should be a Laker, Jake.
Yeah, and I think, this conversation is always a great one when we do the who's a better player or who has more accomplishments or like however you want to couch it. But I think they're really even. As a player, actual production on the floor and what they do, I think they're really even. I think Devin Booker has shown us time and time again that he's an extremely clutch player. But Donovan Mitchell is right there. The difference is Donovan Mitchell's done it in the postseason. He's actually been to playoff series and done some things. And so I agree. This whole All-Star voting thing should be telling Devin Booker that he needs to get out. And I'm sorry, the whole one-team athlete thing pretty much is done. I mean, it was done after Jeter retired from the Yankees, essentially. Like, there's not really many other one-team guys anymore, especially in the NBA.
Correct.
So I don't think there's any issue. I would not have an issue with Book going to L.A. or like whatever, wherever he ends up.
Wants to be a Laker. I know that Suns fans take that as a kick in the balls, but he wants to be a Laker.
It's because of Kobe, not because of the Lakers.
Yeah, he had a great relationship with Kobe that's been well documented, but he wants to be a Laker.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen. I have no doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So as far as players, if I could only take one, I'm taking Devin Booker.
Yeah.
I've said this before, Devin's my favorite NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
But I take him because I think, and I want to be gentle with this because Jazz fans are going to freak the flip out, but
good job not cursing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah.
I think Devin Booker has a bit more of a killer instinct.
Mm-hmm.
They're really even players.
Yeah.
I think Donovan, if both of them continue to develop their games, there's only going to be one thing that's going to separate them. Devin Booker misses too many games because of injuries.
Right.
Other than that, Donovan's a better finisher at the rim, although don't ask him to dunk wide open. Devin's a much better shooter than Donovan is. Right. It's natural for Devin to shoot. Donovan's had to work on it. Defensively, I think Donovan's probably a more wanting defender.
Probably.
But Devin's really raised his defensive game here the last two seasons. I think they're really even. I think you're comparing apples to apples here.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that the difference is that Devin Booker's like 6'6", I think. So he's a little bit taller, more lanky of a player, where Donovan's a little bit more stout. He's a little bit shorter, but he's really strong.
But Donovan uses that frame to be a bowling ball in the paint.
Yeah.
And he's able to finish with a lot more contact. Devin's really good at the rim as well. I mean, we literally are picking apart guys that are separated by millimeters.
Yeah, we're definitely nitpicking.
Yeah. So I just don't think that this is about talent. This is about popularity.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell, I think the Shaq thing raised Donovan Mitchell's profile exponentially.
And it motivated the fans to vote for him to prove Shaq wrong.
Absolutely. So I think Don's getting a push from that. And I really just think that Suns fans, with all due respect, Phoenix, because you guys are a huge market on the show, I get that. You're not passionate about the Suns. Phoenix used to be a Suns town. It's a Cardinal town now.
Yeah.
because the Suns and the D-backs just don't spend money, and Arizona State's not very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's absolutely a product of where Devin Booker plays.
Yeah.
If he was a Laker, he'd be towards the top of All-Star voting. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I really hope we see that. I mean, hopefully, I don't know how many more years LeBron's got left in the league, but it would be great to see him be able to play with Devin. That'd be great to see that, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all that turns out. So the time has come, man. Periscope is done.
It's over.
Our show is ending.
We out.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, 5 years, bro. 6 years.
This
is the sixth year.
Think about where this show was. Sitting in our townhouse in Mesa, Arizona, doing this show. Like, we had no equipment, we had no set.
Nope.
We had nothing.
Nothing.
And the show has constantly evolved into our new house in Phoenix, where we had more of a set, we had more stuff on the desk, and we had sponsors, and we made a bunch of money, and we were pumping cash through the show, and the pandemic hit,
showed up.
and we sold the house, and we moved to Salt Lake again, and I mean, the growth on this show has been crazy. From 50 listeners a day to, in our peak before the pandemic, we were doing 10,000 listeners a day on this podcast.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And, now that Periscope is shutting down and we've transitioned everything from Periscope to Twitch, back to Periscope, now to YouTube Live.
Yeah, Twitch was a mistake. Yeah, we shouldn't have done Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch just didn't, technology-wise, it never worked for us.
Yeah.
It was a problem on Twitch.
Yeah.
But anyways, YouTube Live has been great, and our YouTube channel's blowing up. I would ask you to subscribe and follow us. It makes a huge difference in the growth of the channel, and we appreciate all of your patronage and participation. The audio podcast, by the way, we talk about video all the time. The audio podcast is as big as it's ever been. Like, it is.
Yeah. It's crushing.
It's for everybody on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Stitcher Podcasts. Our numbers on Stitcher have gone way up. Really appreciate that. Anywhere you need a podcast, just search The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. The audio version of this podcast just bangs, and we appreciate that. But it is absolutely the end of an era for us.
Like, for sure, it is. It really is. I mean, when we were on the radio in Phoenix, we were still pushing stuff out. So I mean, it's definitely a changing of the guard, but I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm amazed how fast time goes by.
Yeah.
37-34. Bucs will beat the Chiefs. We're going to have an amazing feast. Follow us on Instagram to see it. And have a great weekend. Thank you for watching on Periscope. Now go subscribe to YouTube, The Monty Show. Until Monday, say go Bucs, Jake.
Go Bucs.
Jake.